Alright, so if you're going to line up your grand entrances, the very first thing that you need to do is look at your planning form. So I'm actually in the online planning form. You're probably going to be looking at a printed out version, but it's the same exact thing. So I'm going to break down what this all means. The left column is just the names of the people being introduced, and the right column is the song that they're being introduced to. So as soon as the MC says Mother of the Groom, Sonia DePaz, and Grandmother of the Groom, Adela Roblero DePaz, the DJ would hit play on I Want to Dance with Somebody. Same deal here. As soon as the MC says Mother of the Bride and her husband, Anna and Peter Juliana, then the DJ would hit play on Black Eyed Peas. Let's get it started. So all the way down the line, that would hold true. Now, this is what the bride and groom are being introduced as, so Mr. and Mrs. Raul DePaz. And this is the song that they're coming into, Imagine Dragons on Top of the World. Party starter song, that indicates which song they've chosen to start the party. That's going to be right after this song. So the bride and groom are going to enter the room. As soon as they get on the dance floor, we go into the party starter, which is one of these songs usually, or they'll pick one and it'll be in the notes. In this case, they chose Shut Up and Dance. Right after the party starter, everyone's going to be on the dance floor. All the guests are going to have danced to the party starter song. Right as that ends, the MC is going to have all the guests make a circle around the dance floor with the bride and groom in the middle. And once everyone's all set, we're going to move right into the first dance, which in this case is an Ed Sheeran song. Now there's also a note here that right after first dance, there's going to be parent dances. So we would do the first dance and then seat all of the guests and then go into the parent dances, all within like a 1 minute time span. This indicates whether or not there's a guest join-in. So there is going to be a guest join-in about 1.5 minutes into the first dance song. So what you need to know as the DJ is you need to be very aware of what the songs you're going to be playing are and when you're going to be playing them. In this case, there's a new song for each group of people coming in. Sometimes that's not the case. Sometimes it'll be Pump Up the Jam for everybody. Sometimes it'll be Pump Up the Jam for just the first two couples, and then they'll want to switch to Walk This Way and then Push It. So just always be really aware of when you're playing what song, if that makes sense. That's why it's super important for DJs to have this in front of them. Just because you're not the MC doesn't mean that the planning forms aren't super useful for you, especially during grand entrances. So make sure you have this in front of you so that, I'll give an example. Let's say I want to dance with somebody. Let's say the form looked like this. Alright? Let's say they had I want to dance with somebody for the mother of the groom and the mother of the bride, but then different songs for everybody else. What you don't want to do is play I Want to Dance with Somebody for just the mother of the groom and the grandmother of the groom and then go right into Walk This Way. You want to let this song play out for two groups of people being introduced and then go to Walk This Way. So just always make sure that you're lining your songs up properly and that you know when to play the songs and for how long you need to play the songs. So you play all these songs, boom, the bride and groom come into the room to On Top of the World. Right after the bride and groom are on the dance floor, we go into the party starter. Right after the party starter, we go into the first dance. And in this case, right after the first dance, we go into parent dances. So you need to have all of that lined up and queued up in a saved virtual DJ playlist. So we're going to transition into the next segment of this, and you can see what all of that looks like. Alright, so you took a look at your planning forms. You have them right in front of you, and you know that you need to line up the songs. You got to do that in Virtual DJ. So you open up Virtual DJ, and you need to line up your first song for grand entrances. Now, the first song that you want to put in your playlist is actually not the first song on your planning forms. Usually the MC has a certain song that they like to walk out and introduce themselves with to the crowd. And I'll give you an example of exactly what I mean. I like to use Don't Stop Till You Get Enough, the instrumental version. And so before introductions start for the guests, I would walk out there, I would say, alright, give me my Michael Jackson song. You'd hit play, and I would walk out with the microphone and greet everybody like this. Good evening, friends and family. My name is Vince. I'm here tonight with DJ Justin. Welcome to Brittany and Raoul's wedding celebration. And then everyone would cheer and maybe give some kind of pump-up speech or say something nice about the bride and groom. And then we would go into the songs that are listed on your planning form for the grand entrances. So the first song that you want to line up is the song that the MC is going to walk out to. I use Michael Jackson's Don't Stop Till You Get Enough. Now you'll notice I actually had 2 cue points set. I had this first one and then this second one. Some MCs like that, like a certain cue point after they say, welcome to so-and-so's wedding celebration. After I welcome everybody, I like my DJs to hit Q2 to add a little bit of effect and atmosphere to it. So make sure that you check in with your DJ and see if they have any sort of routine that they like for their intro song. So once you have your MC's intro song, you put in the first song from the planning forms. So in this case, it's Whitney Houston's I Want to Dance with Somebody. For introductions, usually I use the single. The extended cuts and redrums I save for dance time. The singles are nice because I can use them just for introductions and I can set my cues based on introductions. Now when you're setting a cue, as you're lining the songs up, you want to set a cue that is from the most recognizable upbeat part of the song. Because think about it. People are entering the room as the song is playing. And think about if you were entering the room, you'd want the most memorable part of the song playing as you enter, not some low-key or obscure part of the song. You usually want the chorus. So when lining it up, I don't want to just hit play from the beginning. I don't want to just come into a clapping beat. I probably want to come into something a little more fun, like, let's see if we can find a good spot. Probably right here. Let's see. I'd say from right about here. So I'm going to set that as Q1. And I'll give you an example of what that would sound like. So the MC would say, please welcome mother of the groom, Sonia DePaz, and grandmother of the groom, Adela Roblero DePaz. See, that cue point sounds much more entertaining than just starting it from the beginning of the song. So always set a cue point, and for introductions, it's helpful to set your cue point to Q1, because when you load the song up, I'll show you here. If I were to load this, and if I were now to load I Want to Dance with Somebody, the song, you know exactly what cue you want to start from. Q1. Just so that it's easy and you don't have a bunch of different cue points confusing you. Just make it Q1 on a version of the song, usually the single, that doesn't already have a bunch of cues set. So now you want to load in the next song. In this case, it's Let's Get It Started by the Black Eyed Peas. I'm going to use the radio edition. And again, we want to find a good spot for the people to enter the room to. So let's see if we can find a good spot here.
Let's get it started. Running, and we got 5 girls for everybody, let's get into it. Get started, get it started.
Probably right here from the chorus. There's really no reason to get too fancy with yourself. Usually it's just going to be the chorus. Actually, I'm going to set that cue back a bit just because I feel like it's a little cut off. There we go. Now the next song on the list is Walk This Way. Now always be careful to pay attention to the version. This is Walk This Way, the Run DMC version, not the original Aerosmith one. So I'm going to grab the single and let's find a good spot. Okay, we definitely don't want that. Probably right here. That's good enough. And then we want Push It Salt and Pepper. Let's use the single. I like the ooh baby baby part. Maybe I'm biased. Ooh baby baby. That, you want to pick a part of the song that people get into. It's not always the chorus, but it usually is. And then Pump Up the Jam is the next song on the list here. Cool. Let's do it right from there. That'll work. So now the next song on the list is the Bride and Groom song, On Top of the World. And we'll use... I'm actually going to pick the Easy Mix version for this, and I'll show you why here. So for the Bride and Groom, usually there's some sort of little speech or pump-up message before the Bride and Groom come in the room. So a lot of MCs want some sort of instrumental loop of the song that they can MC over before it goes into the upbeat, crazy part of the song. So I'll give you a better example of what I mean. I'm going to set the first cue on this instrumental part here. So listen. Okay. And it's like that for a while, a good 20 seconds. I'm going to set the second cue. Right here where the song gets kind of crazy. Alright, so this is what I would want if I was emceeing this song. I'd want my DJ to start from Q1, give me this little instrumental, and before the bride and groom come into the room, I'd have them hit play on Q1, and I'd say something like, okay, friends and family, please stand because the reason we are here is coming in next. Brittany and Raul are so excited to be here to celebrate with all of you. So please show your love to the brand new Mr. and Mrs. Raul DePaz. So you see what I did there is I used the instrumental section of the song to kind of give a little spiel. And then as soon as I said their name, I hit Q2, which is the fun part of the song. So always keep that kind of stuff in mind. If there's a good opportunity to give some sort of instrumental loop to the DJ, or sorry, to the MC, set Q1 as the instrumental and Q2 as the chorus or whatever part you want to choose. But only really worry about that for the bride and groom. So after the bride and groom enter the room, we go into the party starter, which in this case is Shut Up and Dance. And I'm going to also pick the Easy Mix version of this, and I'll tell you why again. So the party starter is kind of a unique thing. It's when we try to get everybody up on the dance floor, all of the guests, not just the wedding party, not just the bride and groom. So this is also another really good time to give your MC some sort of instrumental so that they don't have to talk over the lyrics. So what I would do is, right after the bride and groom enter, and you play their Imagine Dragons song, I would say, alright, give me Shut Up and Dance, and I'd want you to hit play from the instrumental here. During the instrumental, I'd be encouraging everyone to get up out of their seats and come join Brittany and Raul on the dance floor. So, I'm pumping them up. Alright, everyone, get up out of those chairs. They came for you to party with them tonight. Blah, blah, blah. And then the vocals would start. So don't start the party starter right from the vocals. Give your MC a little bit of an instrumental, which is why the Easy Mix works well for that. Any sort of extended version of a song. So the bride and groom enter the room. You go into the party starter. Out of the party starter, you go into the first dance, which in this case is Tenerife by Ed Sheeran. You'll actually see the tags are messed up here. The artist is Ed Sheeran, and the song is Tenerife. I don't know if I'm saying that right. But regardless, test the song. So load the song. Make sure that it plays properly, that there's no error messages, that there's no weird like YouTube advertisements or like live clapping like if it's a live version of the song. So just give it a test. Make sure the beginning's good and that there's nothing weird at the end. Okay, you load it in. Boom. So, bride and groom's entrance song, party starter, first dance, and then after the first dance, not every MC is a little different, but I like to seat the guest to the song. So right after the first dance, I would say something like, one more time for Mr. and Mrs. DePaz. Everybody would clap, and then I would say, now if you could all go ahead and find your seats, we're going to be moving right into toasts. And as soon as I said my last word, which in this case is toast, so as soon as we move, we'll be moving shortly into toasts. And then you would hit play on this. So as this is playing, the guests are seated. Load it in here. Now in this case, right after the first dance, they wanted to do the parent dances. So right after the majority of the guests are seated, I would call up the father of the bride, and we'd go right into parent dances. Which in this case, I'm going to look at my form here, make sure I got it right. The father-daughter dance is My Little Girl by Tim McGraw. I'll test it, make sure it works. Alright. Always test the track when you're lining up, because you never know when you'll get an error message or something. And then I did You'll Be in My Heart, Phil Collins, for the mother son. And it works. Cool. Okay. So the only thing that you need, the last song you're going to need in this list is just a dinner song. Because right after the mother son song, I'm going to say something along the lines of let's move into toasts. I'll do the toast really fast. And right after toast, you're going to want a dinner song lined up for just so that there's no dead air. You pretty much never want dead air. So always have a song ready to go. I just picked a song that's on Brittany and Raoul's dinner list, and it's this song by Natalie Cole. It's just a pretty love song. Very nice. So right after toasts, I'd hit play on this. Now, if there's a gap in between the end of the mother-son and toast, sometimes it's hard to wrangle people up. Play a song. Really, you have the song here so that you're always ready to play a dinner song or whatever filler song we'll need, just so that there's never dead air. You never want dead air. So yeah, just to recap one more time, your first song is the MC's intro song that they go out there to and ask them if they have any cues that they like for it. Second song is the first song that is on the planning form for the wedding party or for the parents or grandparents. Second song, third song, fourth song, these are all just songs for the wedding party. On Top of the World, that's the bride and groom's entrance song. Right after the bride and groom come into the room and get up on the dance floor, we go into the party starter. After the party starter, we go into the first dance. After first dance, we have everyone seated. After everyone's seated, in this case, we moved right into parent dances. So you have father-daughter, mother-son. And then, just to make sure there's never any dead air, you have a dinner song ready to go for when your MC needs it. And that's it. Just make sure that you have your cue points set at good sections of the song, upbeat sections of the song. And that is how you put together the playlist. So then all you got to do here is add it to AutoMix if you didn't do it in AutoMix already. So now it's in here. I'm going to delete these songs I had in here from before. Remove them. Alright, so those are your intros right there. You click this little button, hit save, and save the playlist as Brittany and Raoul intros, or you can call it grand entrances. It's really personal preference. So then you go over here, and here it is. Boom. So there it is. That is how you do your legwork, your behind the scenes work, and make sure that you're well prepared for grand entrances and that you have everything lined up properly.